Pride in the Everyday, Czech Queer Youth, Redefining Visibility and Belonging by LGBTQ reporter Alex Dinobata, Opava, Czech Republic. On a quiet Saturday afternoon, in a modern shopping mall filled with the muted hum of shoppers, four young people stand side by side, arms draped casually over each other's shoulders. It could be a scene from any ordinary outing, perhaps a quick break from shopping, a stop for coffee, or just a moment captured before heading to the cinema. Yet for trans king Jakub Valik, Anička Hudečková, Victor Czech, and Jan Riedel, this simple gesture of closeness is an act of quiet, radical visibility. Their smiles speak volumes, not just of friendship, but of resilience. These four teenagers are part of a new generation of LGBTQ+ youth in the Czech Republic who are rewriting what it means to grow up queer in a society where tolerance often outpaces full acceptance. Each of them carries a story uniquely their own, but together they form a mosaic of identities that reflect the complexity and beauty of queer youth today. Finding each other. Jakub Valik, a soft-spoken transgender boy in a light grey hoodie, says that friendship among queer youth can often be a lifeline.
Wyszedzone I ponajokip.
When you're growing up trans in a town where nobody understands what that means, you start to feel like a ghost. Meeting people like Annika, Victor and Jan helped me feel real again, he says. He came out as transgender at the age of 14, navigating the Czech healthcare and legal system with all the typical hurdles and a few that are distinctly Czech. Despite a bureaucratic landscape that still requires sterilisation for legal gender recognition, a policy currently being challenged, Jakub remains focused on hope.
Přežejí do řecky hulelevy, přešejí uvnitř ta kolina.
We deserve to be who we are without needing to prove it to anyone. Anička Hudečková, standing next to Jakub in elegant dark slacks and a cream blazer, radiates calm confidence. She identifies as a transgender girl and says her journey began with writing journaling about her identity, her dreams, and the fear that often accompanied them.
The first time I said it out loud, I'm a girl, I was trembling. But when I saw myself through my own eyes, and not through the fear of what others might think, everything changed.
She's now working to create a support network for trans girls across the country, starting with online meetups and building towards in-person workshops. More than labels.
Victor Czech, with tousled blonde hair and an easygoing demeanor, identifies as pansexual. For me, it's not about the gender someone has, he explains. It's about who they are. I've loved boys, girls, people in between, and I'm still figuring out what that means for me, and I think that's okay.
Victor speaks often of the fluidity of identity. He's passionate about art and volunteers with a local youth centre in Brno, where he runs open mic nights and painting workshops. He sees queerness as inherently creative. It's like painting outside the lines. There's a freedom in not having to choose just one colour. Next to him stands Jan Riedel, a gay teenager whose journey has been marked by both struggle and strength.
I came out in high school and lost some friends, but I gained something else. Honesty, Jan says. I no longer have to lie about who I am, and that's worth everything.
Jan is now active in student politics, campaigning for inclusive sex education and mental health support in schools.
Queer youth deserve to see themselves in the curriculum. We deserve to be safe, to be heard, to be loved.
New kind of pride. The group was recently photographed at an informal meetup held in a large shopping mall. in Prague, part of a growing movement of small-scale queer gatherings that prioritise emotional safety and accessibility over rainbow banners and loud parades. These meetups are not only about celebration, but survival, bonding and belonging. We wanted to take a picture that showed we're just like anyone else, Anika explains. 4 teenagers hanging out at the mall. But we're also showing that we exist, that we're here, and that we're proud. In many parts of the Czech Republic, particularly outside Prague and Brno, being openly LGBTQ+ still comes with risk. Bullying in schools, lack of family support, and insufficient healthcare access are just some of the systemic issues queer youth face. Yet these 4 teens are not deterred. Their presence in a public space, arm in arm, is as much a personal gesture of solidarity as it is a quiet protester reminder that representation doesn't always come in the form of television shows or government campaigns. Sometimes it looks like a hoodie, a smile, and the courage to show up as your true self. The future these 4 envision is one where identity isn't debated, but embraced. We want a Czech Republic where being queer doesn't mean being brave just to exist, Jan says, where trans kids don't have to jump through hoops to be recognised, where being gay or pan isn't a phase, but just one way of being human. Jakub, Anička, Victor and Jan are already laying the groundwork. Whether through advocacy, community building or simply by being visible, they're making space for themselves and for those who come after. Their story is still being written, but one thing is clear. The next chapter of Czech queer youth is bold, beautiful and unapologetically real.